Hey guys, Brad73 here. How you guys doing? Today is Tuesday. What is it? February 14th, 2017. Giant Software has just released the new KUHN DLC. So, I decided to have to kind of put everything out for display here by the shop. And we're going to kind of go through everything, and I'll try to be as brief as possible, but there's some pretty cool things, and then there's kind of some things. But let's look at the store first, and to make it easy, we're just going to go to brands, and we're going to double click here on KUHN, and or KUHN. We have the first, I think, 4 pieces of KUHN equipment are have already been in game, so we won't look at those. But as we move over, we can see they all say like KUHN Pack, and so all the rest of the equipment are all from the new KUHN DLC, which is kind of cool. And wait a second here. Oh, okay, here we go. So let's kind of get started off on. Oh, I thought this was like way over at the other end. We've got the GF 8702, which is the tedder. We have the MAXX 902, and basically what this is, it's kind of like a technologically advanced windrower, like the GA 9531, but it uses like a belt drive to actually windrow or transport the grass or straw or hay, whatever you're windrowing, to a nice neat column. So basically works the same. It's just a really expensive windrower, and it looks really cool. We've got the DC 401. This is a subsoiler, and they basically state that it's essentially, instead of using like a traditional plow, you could use this to plow your fields, which I know, for me personally, being that it's kind of like flat instead of angled like most plows are, I don't know, I might end up using one of these things exclusively. I don't know, but we'll see. We also have the HR 4004. This is a cultivator. Works like a standard cultivator, except you do have to turn it on. It has all these little it's like a roller with all these little arms on it, to help break up the soil. And I'll give a demonstration of that here in just a moment. We've got the Proformer 4000, the DISCOLANDER XM52, which I think this one also does, like, you can seed either grass or the cover crop. What is it? Radishes, I think. We also have some seeders. We've got the ESPRO 3000, just a 3 meter wide seeder, nothing too special, but it does wheat, barley, canola, soybeans, and it also does the cover crops as well. You've got the TF 1500 and the BTF 4000. Now these two go together, so this is like your seed hopper. This is actually the seeder itself. So this one will go on the front of the tractor. This one will go on the back of the tractor, but it works just like a seeder. It's a little bit wider at 4 meters. Nothing spectacular. And then we have the planter 3R12. This one does sunflower, soybeans, corn, and sugar beets. And it's a little bit wider as well, at 5.4 meters. And it does both seed and fertilize. Kind of nice. We also have the Axe. Where do we go? We also have the Axis 40.2 M-EMC W, whatever those letters mean. This is basically just a fertilizer spreader. It's 24 meters. Compare it to the ones that come in game, and buy whatever suits you. You know, it does what it does. It's going to do the job that it's supposed to do, and you know, what more can you ask for? One thing that does kind of interest me are the DELTIS, and then the expansion tank for the DELTIS. So this is a 1,300 liter fertilizer sprayer with a 1,500 liter expansion tank. Now this one will actually, the expansion tank would fit onto the front of your tractor. I'll have a demonstration of that a little bit later, but definitely cool. It runs 21 meters, and I think that's really about all I was going to say about that one. Then you've got the Metris 4102. This is an even larger, but it's like a tow-along sprayer. And I think you can still use the PF 1500 tank with that to get a little bit more capacity. This one actually holds 4,100 liters, so more than a full fertilizer pallet. And it's got a very wide working width, 36 meters, which we'll take a look at that also in a second. We've got the GMD 4411. This is a mower. It mows grass. That's really about all it does. You know, take it or leave it, I guess. And then I'll come back to this one here really quick, but because I want to go through these two. We've got the LSB 1290D standard square baler. It's gonna, you know, bale square bales or make square bales, just like all the in-game ones do, except it's, you know, made by KUHN. One thing what I think a lot more people are going to find interesting is the FBP 3135. This one is a round baler, and it also has an integrated wrapper on the back. So it's gonna bale your bales, and then it's going to automatically wrap them, and then you can kind of continue on baling. I'm pretty sure, I haven't actually tested it yet, but I'm pretty sure you can continue baling while the next bale's wrapping. So that's kind of cool. One of the neat things about this one is the wrap color or the foil color. You have the options between white, black, pink, and then like a light green color. So so that's pretty neat. So you can, like, let's say you're going to be wrapping silage. Maybe you want to make that green. Or grass, maybe, you know, who knows? We'll kind of play around with that one as time goes on as well. And then finally, we have this one this really big one here, the SW 4014. Same thing. It's got the foil color, which you can choose. Now, this one is a square baler, or square bale wrapper. So, you know, I have not seen one before. I've seen them in the real world, but not in game. There might have been some mod square bale wrappers in the past. I've just never really used them, so yeah, I don't know. So yeah, here is this the subsoiler, the Cultisaur or Cultisoil. Golly, I can't speak today. And then the yeah, here you can see, oh yeah, I can crouch down. Yeah, you can see there's like these little round things, and these actually spin around to help break up the soil. Now, obviously, it's just a cultivator in-game, but I'll show you how it works really quick. So let's jump in our trusty Dootsfar here. And we'll just, hopefully we can get under here. And we'll just turn this on. And there you go. So that's how that's going to work. I'm not sure if there's any additional animations with it. But, pretty cool. And I like how it spins up. And then as soon as I turn it off, it kind of, you know, takes a while for it to spin down. So I do like the realism of that. Definitely some cool stuff. This is the Performer 4000. Did I say Proformer? The Performer 4000, just a standard cultivator, nothing too special. Then we also have this cultivator. This is the DISCOLANDER XM, but it also has this tank on the back where you can fill it up with fertilizer. So if you want to, or actually, wait a second. I'll look at this one again, because this one is the one I think I always get confused on. No, this is the one. I'm sorry. This is the one where you can plant either grass or the cover crop, not the fertilizer. So no, this one does not fertilize, but it's going to cultivate and plant the cover crop. Next up, we've got the TF 1500, and then what is this guy called? The BTF 4000. Again, this is the seed tank on the front. I guess there would be some kind of a pipe linkage or something going to the back, though, you know, it's not visible here. I guess it would probably plug in right there, and there would probably be like a pipe coming out of this somewhere. I don't know where. I would guess probably somewhere over here, maybe off of this thing. I really don't know. And it would, you know, they would essentially route it up over the tractor, connect it there, so that you know, the seeds could get back here for, you know, obviously planting. The ESPRO 3000. Again, this is just a standard seeder. I think it's only like 3 meters wide, not very wide. So I don't know really how useful this is going to be. Yeah, when I saw this, I was kind of like, meh. The Planter 3 here. This one actually has some pretty good width, so I'm probably going to be buying one of these for my my series. Since I think it's a little bit wider, or it's about the same width as the in-game like corn and sugar beet seeder. So, but it's something new, so I thought I'd give that a try. Let's see. Next up, we've got the sprayers here. This is the fertilizers. This is just the dry fertilizer pellet spreader. You know, nothing too fancy. If you've been playing Farming Simulator, it's, you know, something that we've seen before, so it gets the job done. Here's the PF 1500 with the sprayer on the back, the DELTIS, and then you can see how much, you know, how wide the two fertilizers are compared to each other. So we've got those. And I really like the way, you know, if you really get up close and you look at all the detail on these things. I wish I could go slower, but it's like, you can't even see. There's just a lot of nice little details on these sprayers that's just, you know, really, really well done. There's the KUHN logo on the back. And this actually can raise up and come down, so that's kind of cool. And the Metris 4102, just a, you know, a tank. You know, it's got a big tank on it. You tow it behind the tractor. About as simple as you can get. Hopefully we can get under here. Very similar to the Amazon that we have already, but pretty cool. Okay, so let's go over, and this is all the baling equipment here. Starting from the simple grass cutter. And let me run over here. I'm gonna get a tractor because I want to kind of show you guys how that how the cutter works. Because at first it looks a little bit confusing. But it's pretty simple. When I first saw it, I was like, wait a second, this doesn't hook up correctly. But yes, this is indeed how it works. Rotates into the side, and then there are the cutter blades. You know, it lowers down, and guess what? It cuts grass. So nothing, you know, nothing that we haven't really seen before, but, you know, just a different brand. and it's going to cater to certain, play styles of cutting grass, which is fine. We've got the tedder here. It teds the grass, changing it into hay, which you can then bale, and then use for silage, or, well, the mixed ration. Once you've tedded, we've got the KUHN DISCOLANDER. Now, this is one of the coolest pieces of equipment, I think. It's going to be in this pack. And I'll show you kind of how this works. It may not be too obvious. You're like, this is not a windrower. So essentially this folds out, right? And then these things fold down. I can only imagine how expensive this thing must be to repair if it were to break in the field. Looks pretty complicated compared to just a regular old windrower. And then here you've got the conveyor belts. So it's going to pick up the hay or straw, whatever you want to windrow. It's going to pull that up here and then transport this down to the middle to make a windrow, and it just kind of dumps it all out the bottom. So it's going to come right out here. And I don't know if I can... Yeah, I can't really... I think these forks move forward, and so all of the straw, grass, or hay that's coming in through here is just going to get routed out kind of the front here, but then it's, obviously going to come out the back. So let's see, we can turn it on really quick and hopefully, find out. Nope. So yep, here is the little tines. Oh, these are actually moving everything backwards too. So let's see, this goes this way, this goes left. This actually is continuing left, so maybe it, I guess, no. Actually, it looks like it dumps it out to the side, maybe. I haven't used it in the game yet, so I'm just as curious as you guys. But that's it. I cannot wait to use this. Looks absolutely awesome. We've also got the KUHN LSB 1290D power density. Standard square baler. We've seen it before. It's just a, KUHN branded square baler, which is still cool. But this guy right here, the IntelliWrap, the FBP 3135, this one actually is pretty cool. It's a round baler, as I said before, but it's got the integrated bale wrapper on the back. So once the bale is finished wrapping, it kicks it back into this little cradle right here, and then the wrapper just starts going around, wrapping the bale, and yeah. And then the one thing I did forget, I forgot to buy it, and we're gonna buy this really quick. Hopefully it'll appear somewhere easy to get. Yeah, it's right down here. So much for me being prepared. No, when I was actually trying to set up all the equipment, this was like, the last piece that I wanted, and well, I just didn't have enough room, so I'm sorry. So yeah, here we can unfold the square bale wrapper. Okay, so we're gonna pull it along here. The square bale enters here. These arms kind of pick it up, and then it starts wrapping. And again, you can do the 4 colors. Once it's done wrapping, it just drops it off again, and that's it. And these are the like your extra wraps. So when you're out on the field and you run out of your cellophane or whatever the heck this stuff is, they call it foil. You stop, you replace them, and then you continue on. So that's pretty much it, guys. All of the new equipment from the KUHN DLC. It's currently $14.99. Check your local you know, your local price if you're not in the United States, because the price could vary. It's kind of steep for a DLC. I must admit, I was kind of shocked that it was as expensive as it is, especially since there's like no tractors or other, you know, major farming equipment. I would say a lot of this stuff's kind of minor, though. You know, some of it is definitely useful, especially if you're looking for something different on the farm, or if you like the KUHN brand and you know, you just want more equipment from KUHN. This is definitely the way to go. Whether it's worth it or not, I would say it would definitely be worth it at $10. It's a stretch at $14.99. But I would say it's a good, solid DLC. Of the equipment that I have used, I haven't had any problems with anything so far. I just haven't had an opportunity to use the balers yet, because on my fields on my off-screen account, I'm still not doing any baling. So I hope to get this equipment in use as quickly as I possibly can. But definitely cool stuff. Check it out if you want to know more. I'll have links down in the video description. But do not forget to hit the like button, and please subscribe for this and many more videos. I am BradM73. This has been a first look at the KUHN DLC. Bye for now, guys.